Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jennie will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger.
Welcome back to another episode of Badass Direct Sales Mastery. I'm your host, your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger, helping you whip your business into shape. And today I have with me Lisa Jadis. And first and foremost, Lisa is a wife and mom of 2 grown children. She's had a super eclectic career. She has worked on the trading floor on Wall Street. She was a multi-line representative in the spa industry. And now she works full-time for a company that her sister owns, in addition to also building her Young Living business. She has always been passionate about helping people and has done that through being a serial entrepreneur. So, Lisa, I want to welcome you to the show.
Well, thank you, man. First of all, thank you, right? I want to start by saying thank you for having me on your amazing badass show.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you're here. I am like our first conversation that we ever had. We just like, and
it was.
And by the end I went, shit, we should have recorded that.
And you said that. Remember? We had a mutual friend introduce us and we were like, oh my God, that was an unbelievable conversation. But here we go again. So we get to do it again because we're both so busy. So here we are. I'm really excited about it.
Right. Well, and I want to bring to attention, Ivy Wolf Turk introduced us, and she
amazing woman.
Like her story, y'all. Have I had her on the podcast yet? I can't even remember. I'm at over 150 episodes. If not, I need to have her on because her story just will give you goosebumps. The first time she told it to me, I cried. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that about you. That's so beautiful. Anyway, this show isn't about her. It's about you, but she's the one who connected us. So tell us, how did you get to where you are today? I alluded to it in your introduction, but give us the in a nutshell version of Lisa's history till now.
Lisa's history, there's like a Damascus crazy pattern, like a wild road. That's how I got here. It's really pretty funny. And from Wall Street to the spa industry, are you kidding me? The only thing intentional that happened on Wall Street were things that would no longer be allowed, right?
Oh my gosh.
And it started as a multi-line rep, and then I ended up working for my sister, which I still do, and I love that. The funnier part is really how I ended up in network marketing, because I was that person where if anybody approached me and it was a hint of network marketing, I knew nothing about the industry. All I knew is, thank you, no. Jennie, I didn't even take a breath before the no came shooting out of my mouth. And one of my very close relatives, I won't say who, used to always prospect me and the greatest and, you know, this thing. And I wanted no part of it. And one day a product arrived at my door from a woman that I repped her products, right? And this thing came and my first thing was, oh God, it's one of those. And I was like, how do I tell her I want no part of this? Here I work with the woman without hurting her feelings. And I kind of put it aside, and about a couple of weeks later, she said, did you get that? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I did. She goes, Lisa, I don't care if you don't want to do the business. Just try it, because it was this chia and it was going to help. So I was like, okay. So person of my word, I started using it and I wasn't thinking about it. And all of a sudden I started getting results from it. And people were like, you really sound good. And I'm going to age myself and date myself with this one. But there used to be an Imodium D commercial with the couple in the bleachers. And she would say, he has diarrhea, right? And she would whisper the word. I was doing network marketing. Because I was like, how does this work? And that's really what started the business. And I started really becoming a student of the profession, purposely choosing that word because it is a profession.
Yeah.
And I loved what I saw because, like you said, And what I tell people all the time, I love helping people. So even if it's a great sale at the store, I'm going to tell you about it. Great restaurant, I'm going to tell you about it. So this was such a no-brainer for me. Like, if I feel great, why would I not tell people? So it really started the path. And I chose that first company and I kind of got involved, and then they were acquired and blah, 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 blah. And I ended up with a company that I loved. I don't want to belabor this, but a company that I loved, that I got a phone call one day saying we were being acquired by Young Living Essential Oils. I got off that call and I literally cried. I was like, essential oils, oily people eat granola. They're in downward dog. I don't even think I'm saying that right. Yoga, I've never done it. All day long. That is so not my life. I work full time. And then about 10 of us were flown out to Utah to meet the corporate office, and I was blown away. And I was like, oh my God, this is so different than I thought it was. And 6 years later, almost, I can't imagine my life without these products. So the products are great, but why we're here today is the business is honestly my favorite product.
Yeah. And
right?
Yes. And I'm so glad you put it exactly like that, because what I've been working with when I was a leader in my company with Brooklyn Jewelry back in the day, I tried to explain to my team, guys, you have lots of products, our jewelry, but the biggest product, the best product we have is the business, right?
Yeah.
So if you can sell the jewelry, if you can sell the oils, if you can sell the skincare, if you can sell the whatever insert name of product line here,
right,
exactly, then you can sell the business. It's the same thing. It's the same process, different words.
Same thing, exactly.
Right?
And
I love that you did that. That explains why you're so freaking successful.
No, and it's like, here's the thing also, like I work full time.
Yeah.
So people think it has to be either or. And I love showing people it is the best and you could possibly have. It's like a second skin. It's part of my life. So if you know me, you know I use these things. I'm not in your face, but if I could help you, I'm going to give you a solution to maybe a problem you have. And it's almost like being the hostess at a restaurant. Like, you know what? You don't have to accept my solution, but at least I know that I gave you the opportunity for a solution for something, maybe a challenge or something. And maybe that is the business, because look at the world we're in today.
Oh my gosh.
People are struggling, right? We have no control over inflation, but we can add additional income. So, right?
I love that. Okay,
That's
guys.
what I love.
Go back. Grab your phone right now, as long as you're not driving, and click the little rewind 15 seconds or 30 seconds and listen to that again.
Right.
Okay. Because I want you guys to understand, for those of you who are in the direct sales, network marketing, and MLM industry, that is going to become a powerful way for you to build your business, is to present that option to people in that way.
That's all you're doing, Joel. And you know what? We all start, look, I was attached to the outcome at the beginning. I was like, what do you mean you don't want this? Oh my God, you take it personally. And when it really started becoming fun is when I detached from the outcome. And it's like, okay. And it's almost like Pretty Woman, like big mistake. Remember when she says that line?
Yeah.
That comes on in my head, like, okay,
cool.
And exactly. And what I've really been focused on lately, and I'm really passionate about the fact that you can really take this business model, that's really funny, I'm going to shut down, and use it to support charities or people. So I'm going to give you an example. A friend is battling cancer. And when people have any kind of illness, it doesn't have to be cancer, the medical bills are tremendous. She came to me for, some products from the other company I work with, and I called her back and I said, you know what? She is going to have tremendous medical bills. She also, being that she has cancer, she's really got to start looking at her environment and products she's using in her home. We're all in our home more. Yeah. So, Young Living is so much more than oils. We have the whole feeds cleaning collection. I said, she needs products like that in her home to support her health and not wreak havoc. And she's like, oh my God. I said, I have an idea. Let's set her up and let's let her message help other people. And while she's helping them, they're helping her. And we have this whole team growing under her, and she's getting checks. And I love that I have the ability to do that. Because what do people say when people are sick? Like, what could I do? How could I help? Guess what? She can help you. You're helping her. It's a beautiful thing.
Right. Exactly.
So, really fun. Yeah. You got to think out of the box with it, but it just really could be so many things. And it's what you're passionate about. And just, that's me. I love to help.
Yeah. And what is so cool about this, and it's so funny that this is coming up right now, because I just had this conversation, I'm not even kidding you, like 2.5 hours ago today.
Really?
With somebody, because he was asking me some questions about some hot top level MLM people, and he's not in the industry, but he is, but that's a whole other conversation.
Right.
It's with a financial services company.
Right.
And so they do things a little bit differently, but he was asking some questions about, how people in direct sales and network marketing think and what matters to them. And I got to share with him the research that I've done in the past 2.5 years now that I've been doing this through my DISC certification. I have been tracking every MLM person who takes the Deeper Than DISC assessment with me and putting anonymously their results from certain parts of the information and tracking what's going on. And what has been consistent is that 87% of network marketers, their lowest value out of 7, so the 7th of 7 values, is their economic value, how they value money.
Interesting.
Almost all of them, in their top 2 or 3, is altruism, helping other people. But what's interesting is the most successful people are the ones who know how to help them and then let the money flow because of that.
Right. It's like, really, I think people get stuck with that because they feel like, how many times have you heard this? I don't want to make money off of my friends and family. Right?
Yes.
And it's like, well, what if you switch that and thought, how could I help my friends and my family? Because who do you want to help more than them?
Right.
Right. So it's like your mindset is so important in this, but it's also your belief in what you're doing. And again, I've been in network marketing probably 12 years now, and it is definitely a journey.
Oh.
And, I'm going to throw out there for all those people that their family doesn't support them. My family really is not, they don't get it. And that used to, I chased my husband around with a book. You need to read this so you know what I'm doing. He had no interest in reading this. And I'm like, and then again, it was like, you know what? Just because they don't understand or see what I see, because I see it.
Right.
That's okay. That's not their path. But that doesn't mean that I heard one woman one time say, you could listen to the no, or you could listen to the knowing. And I'm choosing to listen to the knowing because I do know where I'm headed. I know what I want to do. And I see the vision. So for people that, could stay in that and not let all the outside forces derail them, make it fun. And again, remember, big mistake. Just have that in your head. Like, okay, big mistake.
Right. And what's so interesting with all of that, and I love that phraseology of you can listen to the no, which is what a vast majority of people do, right? Which is why there's a 90% part of why a 90% turnover rate in our industry, right? Is because so many people hear no just enough times. For some people, it's the first no. For some people, it's the 50th no, the 100th no. At some point, they let all those no's get to them.
Yes.
And so it's hard for them to stick around, but to instead listen to your own knowing. What do you know?
Right.
What do you believe about this? How, okay. I'm pretty sure that's
It Cosmetics.
What's
Actually,
that?
It was I think her name is Jamie, the founder of It Cosmetics. That's who said that. I want to give her credit. I listened to a podcast with her on it, and I was like, oh my God, that was like, you talk mic drop. That was, I stopped in my tracks. I was like, I love that, because I've had to do that, because I don't, like, my friends, it's like, good for you, Lisa. That's nice. Oh, good. They don't get it.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. No,
right?
I love it so hard, because I really do believe that was part of my own success, was because, in 7 years in the direct sales industry, I heard a lot of no's.
Right.
Lots of no's. And despite hearing lots of no's, my team still made it to the stage for number 1 in the world for group recruiting. Right?
Right.
How many no's did we all hear to hit number 1 in the world, y'all?
That's
Lots
amazing.
of them, right? So I want you guys to understand that, or I say you guys, the listener, the one person who's listening right now, because nobody listens in a group to this show. I know better. Although if you guys want to play the podcast for your team, feel free.
That would be great, right? Yeah.
But what I want to point out is that what I see this all leading to with you is, your own personal belief in this, right? The vision that comes from this, what this all seems to be leading towards, is a confidence in being able to have the conversations, a fearlessness in being able to ask the questions of, to move forward with all of this, right? Because I think a lot of people, and I want to point out, this is not just something that happens in direct sales and network marketing, because I do network in, and I'm putting air quotes around this. You guys can't see it, but air quotes around this, in traditional businesses as well. Everybody who listens knows that I'm in BNI. So I'm talking to mortgage people. I'm talking to insurance people. I'm talking to bakers and literally butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers. I'm not even freaking kidding you. We have all three in our BNI region. And this is something that comes up for a lot of different people, is the fear of that selling conversation, the fear of no, the fear, because they fear selling, because they fear hearing no, they fear the rejection.
Right, because they take it personally, and it's really funny, because a part, like we're talking about, what I love is the business. The other component that I don't think people realize enough, and this is a catalyst in this, is personal development. I will tell you today, I am so not the Lisa I was years ago, not because I've gotten older, but because through this profession, there's that word again,
right?
I have really grown, and I have taken what I learned in network marketing, and I use it in my traditional business. It is not the other way. And the way I relate to people, the way, like, when you're afraid of that no, so what do you get? People avoid saying no, so they ghost you, right? It's like you get so excited when you see those dots in Messenger, and all of a sudden they go away. It's like, no, right? Whereas it's crickets, get back.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like, just say no. People, we're adults. We could take no. It's not for me. That's okay. I'd rather you say that to me than nothing.
Yes. Okay.
Right?
So what this is
still
bringing
work for me.
No, and this is bringing up something for me, and I need to preface this. This is not my idea. I got it from. Have you ever read Romy Newstead's "Get Over Your Damn Self"?
No, I know who Romy is, but no, I didn't.
You need to read that book. Okay.
Is it on Audible too? Because I like listening.
I don't know. I got the actual physical book and read it, and I know I've read it at least twice. And one of the things that has stuck with me from reading that book is how to get the fence sitters off the fence.
Yes.
Right? Because
that's huge.
The reason lots of people don't say no is because either they really haven't made the decision because they don't have enough information. So you need to find out, is this, is the reason that they're sitting here, whether it's for the business or for the product.
Right.
If they are sitting on the fence and have not said, hell yes, I'm doing this, or no, thank you.
Right.
It's because they don't have it's either because they don't have enough information to make a decision.
Yes, correct.
But there's just enough that they're interested, but there's nothing that is pushing them over the edge to go, all right, yep, that's what I need, right?
Right.
Or it's because they don't know how to say no. So sometimes we as the business person, we as the professional, right? Just like you said, because this is a professional, we as the professional help them.
Exactly.
Right. And I love what she says in how to get people off the fence. Have you heard this?
Yeah. No, I'm going to definitely read that book. I want to read that book.
Okay. I'm going to give you the quick and dirty on it. You take it away. So whether it's the product or the business that somebody hasn't told you no on, and they just keep hemming and hawing and whatever, and you ask the question, what else do you need to know? Because the first part of that is ask, what else do you need to know to make the decision?
Right.
Right. That's first part.
Great question. Right.
Right. Second part then is if they still don't make the decision, you come back and say, this is obviously not a fit for you.
That's great.
Right. And anybody who listened to my previous episode called If It's Not a Hell Yes, It's a Hell No.
Right.
This comes from that, right?
Yeah. Because
look, obviously this is not a fit for you. If it were, you would have jumped on this by now. So I don't want the fact that you feel guilty about not telling me no or whatever. I don't want that to affect our relationship.
Right.
Yes, right. Because here's the thing, you're putting the relationship first and saying, I still want to maintain the relationship and I don't want it to get weird between us.
Right.
Because you're not into getting the product, or you really don't think you can do the business, or you don't want to do the business and you don't know how to say no. Right. So we're just not going to talk about it anymore. We're still going to go have wine, and we're still going to hang out and be friends, and we're going to talk about our kids and our grandkids or whatever's going on, right? Our dogs, our fur babies, right? Whatever. So there you go.
While you're doing that, right? And while you're doing that, Jenny, you know they're watching you. Yeah. Because they're still keeping that one eye on you. And it really also boils down to, like, I'm not going to decide what's right for somebody else.
Yeah.
And what I love about Young Living, just saying what I love, it's lifestyle. Yeah. So but I'm not I don't have this like trench coat on. Oh, you don't want oils? Do you want beef? I'm not going to do that with somebody. But it's more about being curious. Like, what is important to you? Or you see people struggling about something and, oh my God, everybody needs sleep help. And, it's like once you bring up one thing and all of a sudden, everybody, okay, well, I don't know if this is going to be right for you, but I have something that may be able to help you. Let me know if you want to learn more about it.
Yeah.
And then kind of so put it out there with respect, like, and then don't fire hose them. And I've done that in the past. It's like, they're interested. You don't want to do that. Right.
Yes. What I call the verbal vomit.
Exactly. Right? And everybody did it. And
me too. Like hashtag me too. Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
hashtag.
Seriously.
Or not sounding human. Like, you have to sound like a human.
Right. And
authentic.
And people go, okay, so if I don't verbally vomit, what do I do instead?
Be human. Just speak like you would normally speak. Like, I'll tell you a funny thing. That same first company, the Chia, I didn't know network marketing, right? So I'm a sponge, and I'm going to do what you're telling me because I want to be successful. And they had this, they called it the sandwich, right? And this is so funny. When I really want a good laugh, I think about this. It was like, oh, I'm eating this new food called blank. It fills me up. It makes me poop. And the best part is they send me a check. Do you die if somebody said that to you? And even at that time, I was like, I cannot say that. That is too weird. So you don't want to be saying things like that.
No.
And it's not like, it's not about you. And you're not doing this because you want that check. Look, we all want to make money, right? This is not volunteer. It is a business. It's a way to make additional money. But I love it because if It's not the thing, if I make money, you don't. We both can.
Yeah.
And I could show you how.
Right.
So that's one of the most beautiful things about it, is everybody really supporting other people. If corporate America operated like that, we'd have a really happy world. Instead of the great resignation, which I think we've been going through the great resignation with people just putting their head down and doing their job that they were not happy.
Mm-hmm.
And then COVID and the pandemic gave people a chance to say, wait a minute, I want to be happy.
Yeah.
I want to do something that the resignation came before.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's a great wake up. I think I even posted something in LinkedIn on that because I felt so strongly about that.
I was going to say, now that you say it, I was like, wait, I've heard that
Yeah.
before. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, it was you.
It's me on LinkedIn.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. It's people now realize what their options are, right?
Right. And there are a lot of them.
One of the conversations I had with quite a few of my clients during all of that initial, what I call COVID craziness, was, in January of 2020, recruiting into network marketing was impossible because everyone's like, the economy's great, things are going well. What do you mean other streams of income? I don't need that. My job is fine. It's great. And it's safe. Yes, everything's good. And then mid-March happened. Yeah. And people got let go and, places,
that big rug pull.
Yeah, places closed down and everything. And all of a sudden people were looking for anything and everything. And I've done my research. And if you go look at the numbers of of Americans, now I've only done my research in the US. I haven't looked globally. But in the US alone, in 2019, there were 23 million Americans in direct sales, network marketing, and MLM.
And growing.
By the end of 2020, there were 41 million. Right. 23 to 41 million in a year. Yeah. Almost doubled. In 2021, 47 million. It went up another 6 million, 47 million, because in 2022, I haven't looked at the numbers for 2022 yet. We're still mid-April. So I'm sure they're just now finally crunching the numbers and putting them out. But I mean, I'm willing to bet you that the number has surpassed 50 million. It had to have.
It had to have. And it's no longer you're doing network marketing like you're crazy or you're one of like a used car salesperson, like in a negative way. Yeah. It's more like, what company are you with? It's more accepted. There are still people that still have that, air about it, but they don't know about it. It's an opinion based on zero knowledge.
Right. Exactly.
They don't know what it entails. They don't know anything about it. So it's almost like, I'm sorry for you because, you could buy all the insurance policies and all these different things, but I don't care who you are. Everybody could use some additional income just to give you a little more freedom and a little more flexibility.
Yeah. And especially with something that is as flexible, because you can start out in direct sales and network marketing doing 15 minutes a day.
Exactly.
Right. Whether that 15
full time.
Right. Exactly. You're working full time in a, I'm assuming Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 kind of thing.
Friday. I'm busy. I mean, busy.
Right. And so there are lots of people doing that. Almost all of my clients, almost all of them have a part-time or full-time job in addition to what they're doing. And we are working with them to figure out how to best utilize and do the things in those pockets of time, those 15 minutes, those 20 minutes. Because at my most recent virtual summit, Deb Drummond talked about how to work your business like a CEO. And she said, you follow around a CEO, follow around a Gary Vaynerchuk for his entire day, follow around a whatever. And do you know what they're doing? They are utilizing each and every moment to the best possibility that they can. Right. Well, that moment might be their workout. That moment might be their eating healthy food or working their business, making that one more phone call while they're waiting for the valet to bring their car around.
Right.
And that's what that's where I think a lot of people in network marketing maybe drop the ball, is they aren't utilizing all of those moments to the best of their ability to build their business, or they're not doing the right things during those 15 minutes. They're thinking scrolling through social media is working their business because they rationalize it as, well, I'm just looking to see what's going on in the world.
I have to stay
honey.
Connected. Right.
Honey, that's not the right thing. But Lisa, because we have a limited amount of time here, right? So one of the things that we've already alluded to it, is the fearlessness that you talked about. Fearlessness in business, fearlessness in life, right? And what we talked about before this is your gift for our audience, which I think is so appropriately
exactly
named.
Right? How does that work out?
Tell us what the gift is for the listener if they so choose to get that from you.
I would love to. So I created a blend of oils that I named Fearless. And what I would love to do for anybody that would love to get it is to give you my recipe for my Fearless blend, which is empowering. It's calming. Just you use Fearless and you're like, bring it. And it's like a badass blend for sure. But it really is. It smells amazing, which is always nice. But it's uplifting and grounding and calming and empowering at the same time. So anybody, that is my gift to your listeners, because I so appreciate that you had me on your podcast. You're amazing. I love what you're doing for the profession, because you're a big driving force to it being normalized and people feeling proud to be a part of the profession versus, I say, like network marketing. Right? We don't have to do that. You find your voice and you speak out loud. This is what I'm doing, and I'm really proud of it.
And if somebody is sitting there going, well, how do I become fearless about my business? Well, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, try her recipe for Fearless.
Exactly.
And see if it helps you, right? Because I, one of the most powerful senses of all 5 of our senses is the sense of smell. So
100%.
If you can regularly do something, a practice that allows you to utilize this blend that you are sharing the recipe for with them, and doing things that also help you feel empowered and fearless, then when you go into
that situation,
a conversation, whatever that may be.
On. Yeah.
I love that.
Really fun.
So how can they get that recipe from you?
The best way I would say right now is to reach out to me on Instagram, Essentially Lisa. So at Essentially Lisa. And I would be happy to connect with you, and I will send you that recipe. And if you need any help with it, you just let me know. That's what I'm all about.
I love it, because I totally feel you when you were saying, that you were so upset that the company you had been with had been acquired by an oils company. Because my background is I was a middle school science teacher, and I grew up with a medical doctor as my father. And so when I started hearing about all of these essential oils things going, I'm sitting there going, oh my God, are you freaking kidding me? Are you seriously? Y'all think lavender is going to do blah, 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 blah. And you think that peppermint's going to do this. And
exactly.
Oh my God, are you the eye roll? I had seriously strong eye muscles from the amount of eye rolling until I had my own oils experience that made me go, oh.
Right. This really does work.
Oh, okay. So if there's somebody out there who's listening to this who maybe is doing the whole super duper eye roll it, I can't believe she's giving me a freaking essential oils blend. Guys, I'm telling you.
It's pretty incredible.
It's the sense of smell and what you do to back that up. You will get to the point where when you put it on, you will become fearless, empowered, and badass. So what you're going to do, and if you think I'm wrong, fine, test me on it. Reach out to her, get the recipe, make it, use it, do things that make you feel empowered, and tell me that it doesn't work.
Yeah, we'll let Jenny know. Can I tell one last funny thing, Jenny?
Yeah, do it.
My husband is one of the most skeptic people in the world. Like you talk about eye rolling, they're doing circles in his head. And we had moved, and his ankles, for a medical, like, being compliant, I don't want to make a medical claim, but he was having very bad pain in his ankle. And I said, wait a minute, I had something, and I gave him these 2 oils. The next day, Mr. Skeptic said to me, Lisa, if you did not give me those 2 oils, I never would have fallen asleep. This is a man that now sets up our diffuser every night with the oils in it, because it's the sense of smell, like you said, but it's also how it mixes with your body chemistry. So it's like, hey, let's go back to your dad's days and let's go back to science. Yeah. There's science behind this, why it works. So it's awesome.
Absolutely.
I always go to him because he's such a skeptic and he loves it now, which is so funny.
Right. So for those of you who are going, okay, I want the recipe. How do I get it again? What you're going to do is grab your phone, because I know 95% of you are listening through a podcast app on your phone. You are going to click on today's episode that you're listening to right now. Scroll up and until you see Lisa's beautiful picture, keep scrolling. And then you are going to see all of those words. Those are the show notes. And in there, you're going to see we have Lisa's Instagram link. So you can click directly there to connect with her. Go follow her on Instagram, connect with her, send her a message. If you don't have Instagram, if you're like, I don't have one of those Instagram accounts, don't worry. Instagram is owned by Facebook. So if you have Messenger, you can still reach out to Lisa and connect with her that way through Messenger and do that. So if you can't figure it out, reach out to me, send me a message and say, I want to connect with Lisa. It's not working. I will personally connect you to Lisa. It's all good. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen, y'all. So Lisa, this has been an absolutely brilliant episode. Oh my gosh. I really hope that the Badass crew goes back and listens to this 2 and 3 and 4 times, because they are going to get so much value out of hearing what you have to share. This is amazing. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you.
Time.
Oh my gosh.
Have a great day.
You too. Absolutely. And Badass crew, you know how this goes. Stay tuned, because there's another Badass episode on its way.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast, so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.